Recession, the labor union, minimum wage, these are some trending matters in the country. Issa Aremu, he's the Secretary General Textile Workers Union. He joins us to look at the new minimum wage demand. Good to have you join us this morning.
Good morning, Solomon.
There must be something that the nation isn't getting with this renewed talk about a minimum wage. Perhaps let's put this side by side with what is happening in the economy. We know some other countries outside Nigeria have also had to look at an upward review of their minimum wage. What informs this demand?
Well, I think it's nothing really new. It has been a struggle that we have been waging for the past 2 years. First, it's also a legal issue. The truth of the matter is that the minimum wage, national minimum wage, is due for review. We had the last agreement in 2010, backed up by an act of parliament, the Minimum Wage Act of 2010. And in that law, it was specified that we need to depart from the past in which you keep national minimum wage to be stagnant for a decade, at times more than 10 years. And there's a clause, very, very significant, in that National Minimum Wage Act of 2010 that says that there will be periodic review every five years. So by 2015, the National Minimum Wage Act that is currently reigning, which prescribes 18,000 monthly pay for the lowest paid worker, is obsolete. It was due for renewal. And in fact, in that law, we also have a clause that says that negotiation ought to have started 6 months before expiration of that act. So Nigerian Labour Congress has been in the forefront of making sure that we, follow the normal process to renew this National Minimum Wage Act. And we've been agitating over that to make sure that federal government set up the tripartite committee to get it done. So it's a legal issue, and we're in a democracy.
What
so
makes up the tripartite committee?
No, the tripartite committee is made up of the federal government, or government in general, which will federal, state government, the organized private sector represented by businesses, manufacturer association, NASIMA, NECA Employers Association, and of course organized labor, which drives it, which is represented by TUC and of course by Nigeria Labour Congress, of which we belong to.
So at what stage is the talk?
But that's the point, and I listened to the NLC president very well. That's the point we're raising. It's long overdue for it to be raised. Just the first segment of the discussion, I listened to Chief
Waze
very well, and I want to commend him for a very good searchlight that he raised. What I find very useful in his comment was the historical excursion, of how, Africa, Nigeria, used to be led by visionary leaders who saw the need for development. And he talked of how we had food security before. At the time, China was food insecure. At the time, Brazil were living on aid and credit. But the only thing I wanted to add to what he said is that by that time, Africa and Nigeria workforce generally was well motivated, well paid for productivity. So when you talk of wage increases, they are also linked to productivity for recovery. And I think that's what Comrade Wamba was trying to say, that the only way we can get out of this recovery, you can't do so without a well-motivated, well-paid workforce, because that's the key for recovery. And I look at your newspaper review this morning. I find it very interesting. One of the papers, newspaper, led with a story that we have a lot of unsold goods inventory, not 20 jobs. Why is it that factories, I'm from private sector, fewer companies are in business. Those who are in business, they've produced, yet they can sell. Now, who will buy? It is the working people. Worker salaries are not meant to be taken to Dubai, to be taken to London and co. They are meant to be spent in the economy. Now, the key to recovery is also to reflate this economy through wage increase. All night this evening, this night, I'm very sure most of you must have also listened to Obama's farewell address, which is now, published also. It's amazing. One of the key issues he itemized as part of his legacy is getting America out of recession through motivated workforce, including wage payments. You talk of retirement accounts. That's quite a developed country. And under him, minimum wage has been increased more than twice. So one of the key issues for recovery of an economy, is to have a motivated workforce. So in summary, what I'm saying here is that the minimum wage discussion we're having is legal. It's also good economics for recovery. Then above all, it's also constitutional. In fact, 1999 Constitution made it explicit that the best way to equity is to guarantee national minimum wage.
Mr. Amo, before we get to the economical side of it, you brought up the legal side. So let me begin from that legal side. If it's legal, there's a legislation. How is it that it's been 6 months, the year's gone, 2015 is gone, 2016 has gone. So it's been 1 year after that review was supposed to have taken place, and it's not been done. You have threatened to go on strike several times. Indeed, you had a warning strike once or twice. And if it's legal, couldn't you have gone to the court?
I'm happy you raised this point. It's so sad that in a democracy, because the beauty of democratic process is that you have constitution, you also have the laws. That's why you talk of rule of law. The whole idea is that when you have rules, all the parties will obey the rules so that you minimize tensions, strikes, which also disrupt the economy. Because everybody is a loser whenever there's work stoppage. Even those of us who strike, we also lose because there is a loss of income anytime we also engage in strike. Now, but unfortunately in our setting, our leaders have not appreciated the concept of respect for agreement and for the rule of law. Again, I'm from Texas sector, which you know very well. As depressed it is, we've just signed an agreement about new wage increase. And we've done this every two years on basic wage. It's based on our agreement. So all the employers and the workers respect it. That's why you hardly hear any disruption that we went on strike, because we have an agreement that says once an agreement expires, within 2 years we must review them. But unfortunately, this is not done within our setting. Now, so when I say legal, it's not in the court of law. It's already an act of parliament that says this will be 5 years. It's due for review. Now, the challenge is for the federal executive, because it's on the executive legislative list. Now, it's for the government to be on duty. And I think President Buhari has done, a very good job fighting corruption, security, and co. These are just the means. The end is good governance and public welfare.